But so, why did it become necessary then for President Doe to publicly declare that anybody who said they lost their relative or child on the university campus, he defied anybody to come forward? Why did he have to issue such threats?
Excuse me.
The fact that nobody came up, don't you think it could have been
distributed?
Yeah.
I think you got it the other way around. It wasn't President Doe that made a statement.
Who made a statement?
In fact, it wasn't that statement. I was just about to tell you this. Just about to tell you when you intervened. When, by 10 o'clock in the night, no reports of death, because I was curious. The way the soldiers moving there. University had my brothers, I had my cousins there. And there was no report coming of death from any of the hospitals or my reporters who were sent out. Then I called the president, 11 o'clock, 10 to 11 in the night. I was still at the office. So Buya was there. I said, excuse me, sir. Have you gotten any information that anybody died on the campus? He said, no. I didn't tell him what I wanted to do. I said, are you sure, sir? You got commanders on the campus, maybe now, earlier, but you sure that nobody was killed? He said, I'm telling you, why are you asking me like that? I received no reports. I said, thank you, sir. I put the phone down. The next day, I told Minister Buya and the other people, my other staff, you draft me an announcement. Since the president said he has no information on anybody being killed, then I'm free. I put an announcement there. I put on there. I said, anybody who has any child or relative missing, feel free to come to me at the Ministry of Information and bring the photograph of the individual.
Were you convinced in your heart that...
I wasn't convinced.
That given such a traumatic event, that people would have come up without fear of reprisals to come up and publicly display such photographs to you?
In fact, if you just wait, I'll finish in that statement. I said, if you can't come to me, go to the Red Cross or Mr. Kenneth Best Paper Observer, one of the leading papers. Go there with a picture, because I felt that they would be scared to come forward to me as Minister of Information.
But there were independent accounts of deaths.
Huh?
There were independent accounts of deaths at the university campus, except of course you say that it didn't come to your official knowledge.
I'm just trying to tell you, Jean, of what I know and what I did to try to seek real information.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. I wasn't owned by door. I was a full-grown man of standing. And I took responsibility for what I said, and I was dismissed later on. I was not afraid. I've never been afraid. You see? So I wanted to know for sure. And what happened? Somebody came forward and said, my niece got missing. She was on campus. I think she's dead. I said, where's the picture? He brought a picture. He was working at the National Investment Commission, the old building right here. And I said, who is this? It's the daughter of Mr. Waribi. I said, where is Mr. Waribi? He's in town? And quite frankly, I was very disturbed. And I knew what I was going to do or say if it had been true. So Mr. Waribi was called. He came, if I would put on the hair, we said, just as a matter of possibility that she could have been alive, going to a friend or somewhere, we said, Miss Waribi, I've forgotten her first name, if you're alive, please make yourself available. Because someone says that you may be dead. And then a couple of hours, the next day, actually the news was in the evening, Mr. Waribi himself came with his daughter that was supposed to be dead, who said, thank God you're not dead. The following day, I told President Doe that I wanted, was the head of state Doe then, I wanted to go on campus because it had been sealed off. I wanted to go there. He said, I'll call Franz Hamilton, combat liner, hard-looking soldier. I used to be afraid of him. I said, the man is sending me away. He said, but the commander. So we went on the campus. We passed through St. Patrick's Way because they had a front. We went from place to place. Then I said, let's go to the girls' dorm. Because I heard that something may have happened there. So we got to the girls' dorm. I said, let's go upstairs. We went all over the place. Then I said, Franz Hamilton, why is the place looking upside down like this so? He said, don't ask me who. Go ask your professional soldier then that your minister of Great Allison brought here. I was shocked because as far as I was concerned, the whole army military setup was homogeneous. You know, they were together. It was later I found out that Franz Hamilton was an old teacher, and there was a problem between him and Gray Allison. So I called him in the corner. I said, you think something happened here, Franz Hamilton? He said, but man, I don't know. I said, you didn't see people taking bodies out? He said, well, I just saw people carrying people to the hospital. So I will lie to you. I don't have confidence in the soldiers that came here, but at the same time, I can't lie on them. So that's what happened. And then Jenkins Scott, the Minister of Justice, called me the next day. He said the American embassy was very pleased with that announcement. And President Doe was very angry. He said, so come on, you are setting me up so I lie to you and say that nobody died, and in actuality, somebody died, and you didn't tell me you were going to make this announcement. He said, that was very risky. I said, why risky? I asked you, President, Minister, and you gave me information, critical time, so I used it because I was concerned. That's how it happened, John. He didn't like it at all. So I took the risk. But I cannot tell you that I know that nobody didn't die. You understand? I cannot tell you that. But to the best of my activities and what I wanted to find out, when I asked Franz Hamilton in the corner, this is what I told you.
So, what would you speak of the human rights record of the Doe government, in which you served up to 1990?
1990?
I said, what would you say about the human rights record of the Doe government?
I heard you.
In which you served up
That's
to?
the year I'm looking at. I was just there with 1984 for 3 months. You say up to 1990. And then I came back for 1.5 years or so to 1990. The human rights records, we have to speak specifically. You have to give me incidents.
When I say up to 1990, I mean, though you may have served at intermittent periods, but at the time in 1990, early 1990, you still were a functionary of the government. Isn't that so?
All right. So specifically, what areas are you talking about? If you can give me instances.
Well, I can say clearly that you were a functionary of government.
No, I'm talking about the human rights record you're talking about.
Oh, should I cite instances? Like, okay, for example,
Yeah.
the reprisals of 1985 in the wake of the Kuangba invasion, the killing of Charles Béon, who was your colleague, the killing of Van Richards, David Hukbati, several others whose headless bodies appeared on the streets of Monrovia, the assault on the University of Liberia campus in 1984, and I could list perhaps so many others.
Okay. Well, obviously, I want you to take my statement in context. You should be able to answer. The example I just explained to you ought to be the beginning. I I did not obviously concur with the intrusion of the army onto the campus of the university. And then we started hearing that somebody was killed. That's why I pursued this thing. It was a risk. It's just that God helped me that Waribe's daughter was not killed. Suppose she had been killed. You can imagine what was going to happen to me. Number two, when Amos Sawyer, Courtney, all these people were in jail, town was hot. Man put his own vice president in jail. That's when I said that we will not accept dictatorship in this country. We will not accept one-party state. We will not accept suppression and oppression in this country anymore.
Now this was, I suppose you're making these statements against the backdrop of all, the sum total of all these
small things that were happening that were not correct, but I was
including the clampdown on the media, the burning of the Daily Observer, the jailing of journalists and all of that.
I wasn't picking up specific instances and naming them, but I was looking at the psychology of a military government on the heels of anticipated democratic government.